Cistus, or rock rose as it's called, is native to a dry climate, and I fell in love with it when I lived here in California. It grows low to the ground, but its delicate, beautiful petals are something to be admired and would be a nice addition to your garden. It's 5 petals, and there is a calyx and stamens and leaves to go with it. The unique thing you'll see with the cistus is this dark red kind of I don't know, center that they have that really tells you it is what it is. So let's start with shading. I put it on the mat, and to highlight that, I'm going to use a little bit of titanium white and just add some white to that stem end of the pink flower or the pink petal. Then I'm going to take the Copic pen, and I'm going to do these short little brush marks right into the white to give it that distinctive look that makes you know that this is a cistus. Now I'll do that on all the petals, and there's 5 of them. And then we'll put it over here on the mat. Let me move some of these little stamens. Here's the calyx, and we're going to start by shaping it. So we'll stir it a little bit to get it to bounce up a bit. And then the petals are done pretty much like I do all the petals. I'm taking my loop tool, and this one you could use the small or the larger one. I'm going to use the small because I want to get these, if you can see on this one, the nice little detail lines that it has. It's kind of a hard one to replicate because cistus petals are very paper-like, and I mean really paper-like. They're kind of thin and willowy. So the more detail I can put into them to give that illusion, I will. And I get that with this the smaller end here of the loop tool. So as I've done that for 5 petals, I'm going to pinch the end. And then I'll hold that pinch with my opposite hand. And I'm just going to bend down some of those edges. Turn it there so you can see it. And I'll do that on all 5 petals. Now if we bring the calyx over to the non-stick mat, and I'm going to use my tweezer here to hold the petal. It starts by, well, it's 5. So to get the look, I've glued 2 together, and then I'm going to add the last 3 at the top. So I'm going to glue these 2 on either side. So if I can hold it this way so you can see. I'll put the petal into the glue and brush it on, and then I'm going to add right on either side of that. I'll take that one away a second. Here's got the 2 there, so I'm left with 1, and you can call that your top petal. And I'll take the last one and put it right there in the center. So that's how the 5 petals go together. Now you can set it aside in your flower pot to dry while we work on the stamen. You've got a star-shaped stamen, and I'm going to cut it twice on my die cut machine, and then I'm going to cut in half each one of those little projections in half with the scissors. And I'll do this for both shapes. So I've done that one, and so here's one here. Then I've placed them back on the mat, and using the smaller ball, it's on the other end of your leaf tool, go ahead and press down till it really cups up tightly. You'll do that with both of them. And then you can put one back on your mat there, and then with the other one, I'm going to pick it up with my tweezer here, and just with a toothpick, add a little bit of glue to the end. If you over glue it, you might get some up on the projections, and you're going to just have them close back up again. So just let's catch it in the center there. Now, it's easier to actually put the stamen in place on the flower, and then if you can see on this one, I've added some of the pollen. So again, I'm using the toothpick and add a little bit of glue right there and place it in the center of that 5-petal flower. press it down. And then if you go ahead and dab the tops with a toothpick, oh, I don't want to get too much glue there, but dab the tops pretty generously because you really want that look of the center of the flower. Now bring over my piece here. This way I'm going to just, I'm just pouring it on, and then you just tilt it right upside down, and it really catches a lot of the pollen there. We're going to work on the leaves. You could put 3 or 4 of the leaves, and they do have both a stem and a vein line. I like to really accentuate that stem, so I'm actually doing it on both sides with the wrong side up on the last one. Let's bend it in half, and we'll use some of the lighter green to accentuate that. And now I'm going to give it some vein lines. On either side of the stem, go ahead and make the little lines to give the veins. So I've done it on these 2 here. The one last thing I might want to do on these, because they do have some dark shading, is I'm taking a little bit of distressed ink and just a cosmetic pad here, and I'm going to tip the ends a little bit darker. You can see the difference in what I've done with the leaf, how it's grown. And then you dip it in the glue, and you start tucking them under your flowers. And you can add, 3, maybe 4 of these leaves around and really finish off your piece. Rock roses are really nice, low growing, and so they're a nice accent to any of your projects. And they're a good summertime flower for your bouquets. Someone would love to get this on a tag or a card, I assure you there. All done. Cistus, the rock rose.